All right, so this has been going around like crazy. I still see people talk about it, so I was like, let me lend my 2 cents. Julia, I still think he handled himself well. Personally, he handled himself well. Like, black man, he knew he's been around in the game for a long time, and it's Marlon Wayans. People, oh, he's like a simp and he didn't be disrespectful. No, then it would prove what I felt like what he was about to say him wrong, his point wrong. Where it's supposed to just you gotta know as a real man doesn't need to. Sometimes real men don't have to respond or anything. You assess the situation. He knows he's in the limelight. Black man in the limelight. We know what time it is. We know what timeline we're in. Assess the situation. Look up. Look around. Know that this is about the movie. You don't want them. He's out on the road promoting a movie. The boy's a veteran. He's seasoned. He know what it was. He's like, you know what? Let me just chill. Assess the situation. It's a place of business. Act accordingly. What you're not gonna have me look. What you're not gonna have me doing, looking crazy, angry black man yelling at white. Nah, man. That's not what you're gonna. He handled himself well. He was smart. I'm on a promo run. I don't want this to muck up the movie at the end of the day. And you don't have to be loud. Real men don't have to be loud or have to be like, oh, tell a woman. I see men was like, some men, some takes were, oh, he should have just told her, be quiet. Are you crazy? No, that was stupid. And mess up his money down the road? Hell no. Ain't no reason to do that. And you know, and he's causing no harm. She wants to interrupt him. She's the one, at the end of the day, she's the one that looks like a fool. He did the right thing. He just, at the end of the day, she looks like a fool. Even if you're going to have great takes, maybe you have and let's get into it. My bad. Anyway, I want to know what y'all think. You know what it is. My hairs with some takes of other people, of the creators, to help me organize my thoughts. Comment below. I want to know what you think. Again, if you mind the pauses, look in the description below for the links of the original videos from those creators. Go support them. Shout out to you. Let's get into it.
The youth needs to hear what real men are. I think there's there's masculine.
So what are real men?
Right. To me, a real man is a responsible man.
Because every time a man does some fuck shit, they'll be like, that's not a real man. And it's like, looks like a man to me.
I think a real man is in touch with his
feminine side. Looks like a duck and it walks like a duck,
mean?
Yeah.
I think a real man is knows how to unstrap from his
I don't know.
ego.
I think the real man thing is just a thing, like, that people invented to, like, excuse bad behavior. You know?
A real man's thing is a thing that people have invented to excuse bad behavior. Again, that's why I hate when people speak in generalizations. But here's a man who looked like he was about to break that thought process, if that's the case, and didn't even give him an opportunity to do so.
Yeah,
like all men are real men.
Said like a real man.
Period.
Yeah,
Say how it is.
I think
That was Julia Fox doing press for the new Justin Tipping movie.
Whoa.
Him. I think it's one of the hardest watches of the year, kind of functioning as the final boss of white feminism.
What the hell? She did it, Kanye? Then why the fuck do I care? Bruh, if you out there in that, if you over there, oh, I'm good then. I'm chill. I'm out dating a freaking self-proclaimed black Yahtzee, apparently. Whatever that means. What the... Man.
He took it had absolutely nothing to do with what Marlon Wayans was saying. One thing I will say, though, I think if you have a good sense for what real men are, you don't date Nazis. If you're familiar with Kanye, the whole shtick he's doing now is nothing new. By the way, this was all happening as he was still manipulating Kim, so it makes this all a bit stranger. Marlon Wayans is very calmly trying to talk about in this clip is toxic masculinity, which really is what this entire movie is about. That it's not a great movie, but they did have some ideas they were trying to get out there. It was a movie about ego and violence and male athletes hyper fixating on this sport and being selfish and not thinking about the damage they're doing to their own brain, their own body, to the bodies and brains of others. It was a movie designed to look at the dark underbelly of something that the majority of men love, that is the game of football. Nothing Wayans is talking about has anything to do with what Fox is saying. He's not using the term real man to excuse anything. He's trying to talk about good male role models in a world that's being led by really shitty ones. You have Fox here just interrupting him over and over again. I have to say, he handled that like a real man. He was calm, he was respectful, he listened to her, he kind of laughed it off, and then kept it moving. It's funny because as his wife in the movie Him, she is one of the main antagonists. She also was giving a distractingly bad performance that is not on the level of Tyrese or Marlon. That was a movie that could have glorified those men, but it chose not to do that. It had something to say, much like The Smashing Machine, which just came out. Mark Kerr was one of the most dangerous and physically gifted gifted fighters of his generation. He laid the groundwork for UFC today. He helped to grow MMA at a time when these fighters were mostly anonymous. The amount of violence he could unleash was absolutely insane, but he was also a very kind man with a lot of respect for his opponents, respect for pretty much everybody. A softer side, he had an aversion to violence, and he had to figure out how to lose as this massive man who everyone thought was unbeatable.
Right, just like I said, it's just showing a better way. It's like this new age of men are just trying to show that even though I can be dangerous and capable of violence, I choose not to do that, and I choose not to cause harm. It's a choice. Just like Marlon could have chose to really go in, and Marlon is a fucking comedian. He could have just easily go in, easy pickings right there. Especially if you're dating Kanye, he could have got her ass right there, but he chose not to do that. That's a real man to me. I can go in, but I'd rather choose another route. He not react intelligently, right? And then cause more problem and more harm while the camera is rolling, only to make you look crazy even further. Nah, he did that shit right. Let's look at somebody else. It's a good take.
Fox's commentary was really disappointing during their press interview for the movie Him. At first, the director, Justin Tipping, was talking about red pill culture and how toxic it is to young men. And then Marlon Wayans tries, and then Julia Fox keeps cutting him off, interrupting him, and really demeaning what he's trying to say.
Right. I think the youth needs to hear what real men are. I think there's there's masculinity.
But what are real men?
Right. To me, a real man is a responsible
Because every time a man does some bullshit, they'll be like, that's not a real man. And it's like, looks like a man to me.
I think a real man is in touch with his
Looks like
feminine.
So in this, Marlon's trying to have a very important conversation. He's saying that He's saying that men should be in touch with their feminine side, that they need to unstrap from their ego. And he's completely right. It sounds like he's worked on this throughout his life as well. Mm-hmm. But she keeps cutting him off because she has a problem with him saying the term real man. And while I can understand her point of all men are real men, so what's a real man? What Marlon is doing here,
I don't understand that point. Oh man, what's a real man? As if we cannot make discernment. As if we don't have an ability to know that we can differentiate between this is what they think is a real man, but this is what it really means to be a real man. Like, come on now. We're not going to act like we don't have nuanced thoughts. Stop it. Nah, that's just you trying to save the situation, bro. Don't do that. You don't understand no damn point.
There are other men that don't fulfill the stereotypes of what they think a man is, so they consider them to be not real men. And this is because he recognizes that when you're trying to speak to somebody, you have to speak their language. This is why a lot of people will criticize me for talking about movies like Idiocracy, but they don't realize that I'm not trying to talk to them. I'm talking to people who still like and believe in what Idiocracy has to say. And while Julia might be making a valid point saying there's no such thing as a real man, she's inadvertently completely ruining any point he's trying to make. Because first off, if she was trying to talk about women's issues and he was cutting her off, saying the same commentary, we would all see it for what it is. It's rude. It's just rude in general to cut somebody off while they're trying to talk, something that she doesn't do to the other man on the panel, Tyreek, who's also one of the actors in the film. Throughout the interview, when he speaks, she does not interrupt him, but she interrupts Marlon several times.
Interesting.
And then after that moment, she continues.
And it walks like a duck, I mean? Yeah.
I think a real man is knows how to unstrap from his
I don't know.
ego.
I think the real man thing is just a thing like that people invented to like excuse bad behavior.
Still doesn't make sense. What do you mean there's no such thing as a real man? There's real men out there who want to do better. Excuse bad behavior. No, that's why there's men out there saying, hey, that's not a real man. That's just bad behavior. He happens to be a man, but that's not a real true man. I know exactly what they're saying. They're just being... I can't watch this, bro. I'm getting triggered. My bad, bro. This take is like annoying me. Shout to him though, but it's just like, nah, bro. Like, I can't even. Just like somebody else.
In this viral video clip between Marlon Wayans and Julia Fox, we see Marlon trying to give his honest perspective as a black male on the definition of what a real man is. But constantly throughout the clip, Julia Fox is interrupting him. And don't get me wrong, Julia Fox has excellent takes, and I love to hear her speak. But in this video, I'm Marlon
not this
Wayans
time. Finding out about her dating Kanye and this, I don't know what takes. But y'all can correct me. Let me know if she has any takes. Point me in the direction I would like to see. She does have takes, but honestly, hey, broken clock can be right twice a day, so I'm with it. But that was just rude to me.
pointed when another black actor is getting silenced in this industry. That video clip just brought me back to Io getting silenced in her interview. There's just
that video with Io, oh my gosh. Andrew Garfield and Julia Roberts was like, well, what the fuck? Allies. It's black women, baby. Always being disrespected. But this one right here, crazy. Black people just getting disrespected in general. Especially in this timeline.
Together. It is honestly sad what happened in this case of Marlon Wayans. But what do y'all think? Let me know.
He did his best to stay calm, cool, quiet. Yo, don't cause no trouble. Don't cause no issues, man. Pick your battles. Be assess the situation. Be smart about it.
You know, there's
But what
masculinity.
are real men?
Right. To me, a real man is a responsible
Because every
man.
time a man does some shit, they'll be like, that's not a real man. And it's like, looks like a man to me.
Why do white women feel the need to publicly correct?
Really? That looks like you being obtuse. Purposefully. I'm sorry.
Educate black men to demonstrate virtue. She was being wildly aggressive towards him, and she wrapped it up in like feminism language, which is why many white feminists are defending her by saying she was just challenging toxic masculinity. But as black women watching it, it reads entirely differently. She's not challenging the patriarchy, she's redirecting accountability away from white men and projecting it onto a black man. But Marlon, Mr. PR media trained professional, did not even let this white woman shake him. He was not shivering in his timbers. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
She's literally just reinforcing her white dominance within the conversation by silencing him while pretending it's liberation.
This is an issue that probably she's dealt with. And here you are affecting, he was going to speak to his community as well. And anybody else who feels the same way resonated, that'd be great. But even given the opportunity to do so, you just decided to just take that away because of whatever past, whatever issues you were dealing with. It's horrible, man. It's horrible.
Ally. I'm the victim here, even when I'm in control. And you know I love vocabulary words and definitions, right? This is weaponized intersectionality, the ability to switch between oppressed and oppressor roles depending on what secures social sympathy and control. Black women, like myself, because I am one, have historically been the buffer and the witness to this dynamic. We've seen how white women can cry oppression under patriarchy while aligning with it when it benefits them. We've seen how they claim sisterhood with women of color, you go girl, while still exploiting or silencing them. We've seen how they reframe conflicts with black men as moral crusades to protect all women, girl power, which erases racial nuance and reasserts whiteness as default for womanhood. I don't know, Julia, you're starting to give Taylor Swift, and I'm not a bad bitch, and this isn't safe. Shut up. So as a black woman, no, honey, this was not a feminist critique. Now, Miss Julia Fox, if you was really about that life like you say you are, if you was really riding for womanhood and blackness like you claim you're...
I'm mad. Who is she? Yes. My bad if I sound crazy. I'm sick. Let's keep going.
Ally of, I want you to make a response video acknowledging that you made a mistake, acknowledging that you need to go educate yourself when it comes to feminism and intersectionality of black men and black masculinity. If I don't hear from you, Julia, I'm assuming that you are just a performative performer. I'm not a savage. Julia, what's good?
I'm done. Who is this queen?
Reinforcing her white
This
Every time a
queen.
man does some shit, they'll be like,
towards him, and she wrapped
Who is this queen?
and intersectionality of black.
Yeah, this was that was a great take. Yeah, that was a great take. Honestly, there's not much that need to be said. There was, if anything else, basically it was rude. Unnecessary. It had nothing to do with anything. You conflating issues as not, and it always, when it comes to black people, they always conflate our issues. Always conflate our plights, our issues that we want to speak on with whatever's going on with something else. You know, that's what they do with woke. That's what they do with DEI. That's what they always do. They just take our issues and then just morph it into something else away from, and we're trying to fix it. We're doing our best to try to, like how he was trying to speak on it, to put a different message out about what it means to be a man, to be what it means to have masculinity, you know? But here he goes. Anyway, I don't know what y'all think. Comment below. Check it out. This was actually an interesting video. I just wanted to speak on this because everybody's speaking on it, so I'll speak on it too, because you know, Rick Reacts Speaks. Like and subscribe. It goes a long way. If you're especially enjoying these videos, I'm hoping give me some feedback. Let me know. Other than that, I'll catch you on the next video.